Hello, and thank you for joining the first of our 2024 economic updates. We concluded 2023 with a Mexican standoff underway between geopolitical risk, inflation, and the threat of recession. Could inflation be tamed without a spike in unemployment, and what impact would the ongoing wars have? We enter 2024 with a case for measured optimism. Inflation, which had peaked at 7.8% in December 2022, retraced to close 2023 at 4.1%. Australia remains fully employed, with unemployment at 4.1% at January's end. And while GDP is soft, low growth is better than no growth, which is more than can be said for our friends in the UK and Japan. We have an official cash rate with a 4 handle, which gives our central bank some ammunition in the event of a market downturn. Let's turn to the outlook for 2024, and that case for measured optimism is carried through in our survey of economists. GDP is forecast to land somewhere around 1.5% for the year before firming a touch in 2025. Unemployment will end 2024 starting with a 4 handle, well below historical norms. House prices are broadly projected to increase anywhere between 2.5% and 5%. And with inflation tipped to finish 2024 somewhere in the low 3s, all of our forecasters believe we are at peak cash rate, with all but one anticipating rate cuts this year. Let's come to that now. Inflation has remained the central headline for governments, for investors, and for markets alike since it awoke through 2021 with the supply-side consequences of international war and energy costs, combined with a rebounding global economy, low interest rates, and decades-long expansionary fiscal settings. Central banks continue to increase interest rates in an attempt to curb inflation, with these contractionary settings taking hold. The more recent annual headline inflationary prints, being 4.1% in the December quarter, seemingly are charting a retracement of inflation back to target range by 2025. And, absent any further economic surprises, it appears likely that interest rates in this cycle have peaked at 4.35%, with that final RBA increase of 25 basis points in November 2023. But don't expect interest rates to return from whence they came, or quickly. When the Reserve Bank first increased interest rates back in May 2022, it was off an historically low base of just 0.1%. These were emergency low levels. And while the official cash rate of 4.35% feels high, the average rate from 1990 through to today is actually a whisker higher at 4.42%. So, on a longer term basis, rates today are far more normal than those we've had over the past 4 years. The Reserve Bank will be in no hurry to reduce rates until it is certain that inflation is entirely contained. So, forecasts of 0 to 1 interest rates in 2024 feel about right. Combined, our base case is of optimism, fueled by full employment, moderating inflation, and peak interest rates. Tailwinds for economic growth, and tailwinds for Trobe Financial's investment strategies all. Thank you for watching.